Hello and welcome back to another Foxy No Tail live stream here on the Super X SMP server. I'm going to be online with my peeps in a moment, but before we do that, I'm just going to say hello and a big thank you to Dorsal Dawn subscribing for 22 months, which is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you very much, Dorsal. Also got Ruff in the chat, Lawful Meteor, Jez, Non-Existing, Paulie Boy, Archangel of Death, JCB's here, and Holmes, and Ram 119. Jez Nunna says, congrats for being a marketplace creator. We'll talk about more of that later before I forget how to speak, apparently. Right, we're going into chat. No free puppy cam. What do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? No, not happening. Did that not work, Rolf? Did the party time thing not work? I didn't hear it. Is it the thing's not working? Oh, it's working. My button works, but maybe the redemption didn't. That's a bit weird. Right, anyway, we're going to meet up with the peeps in the chat now. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Just wander past and don't
You're on the internet,
you
Lofty. Don't say it. What was you saying?
Oh, creepers! I was just saying. I bet when you do another server, you're gonna get creepers to follow me and then blow me up.
That's the plan. That is 100% the plan. Scare you off the server as quickly as possible. Yep.
But I've been on all 3 of your servers with creepers and more creepers and more creepers, and I'm still here.
Oh man, it's not working, peeps. I told you it won't work, mates. You're gonna have to come up with another idea. Ruff says no party time. Sad owl noises.
Oh.
And Ram 119 says, how do I have a foxy face in front of my name? Well, you have probably been gifted a sub because people have been very, very generous in the last few live streams. Apart from Lofty, everyone else has been extremely generous.
Hey.
Wow.
Ow. Sorry, Lofty.
So mean.
I'm only kidding. No one's been generous. Not even Lofty. That's what I meant to say.
Well, I think I'll just cancel my order I just placed in your merchandise shop then.
Don't do it, Lofty. Don't do it. I need all of those extra pennies. They all count. What have you ordered?
Not telling.
Not telling. I've ordered a few bits. I don't think I'll ever make back the amount of money that I spend on my own merch from the pitiful amount of profit I get from when you guys order. But it's worth it because I like it.
You should get it for free.
Why? Someone has to pay for it and make it.
Oh yeah, true. I'll tell you what I got. I got another Mr. Onion hoodie because I wore mine out.
Nice. Hey,
I'm
guess
wearing
what,
my
Lofty?
11:15 just subscribed for 4 months. Hello,
Was that
Foxy.
Holmes?
Yes.
You just cut yourself off when you subscribed then, I'm just saying. Holmes has just subscribed with Prime for 4 months and then spoke over Big Chicken and Stream Lady. I can't believe it.
Can't exactly hear it. I mute the stream.
That's impressive.
I couldn't tell. But yeah, I'm wearing my Foxy t-shirt at the moment.
Yay! Is that one from my store? Or is it just one that you consider to be, particularly Foxy
From
t-shirt?
your store.
Okay.
From your store.
All right then. Which one is it?
It's the one with you standing with your hands on your hips.
Oh, hero pose.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't like the flying one. It looked weird to me.
Wow.
Well,
Jeez.
just
All
subscribed.
right. Tell me how you really feel.
At least I got one. Jeez.
Can you believe it, Mitz? The cheek of some people. They come in here, they subscribe, they buy merch from the store, and then they say they didn't like one. Jeez. Can't believe it.
I do want to
Generous
get.
and then-
I do want to get the pickle and many.
I like the many one. I like when the thing is for me, right? I come up with these designs, and I know a lot of people will just want like a bog standard Foxy No Tail because it's got the logo on it and it's got the character. But I wouldn't wear that out. I wear that at home, but I wouldn't wear it out and about. So I want t-shirts and things that I can actually wear.
I know. I wear my Mr. Onion jumper out.
Well, yeah, but me and you are different, Lofty. You've obviously got a lot more self-esteem than I have.
I just go with it. I don't care what people think anymore.
So,
I wear my t-shirts.
My point there being was my expert level 99 stuff I designed to make look like it was, you know, gym wear, so that I would dare wear it out. And I do. I really like the expert level 99 stuff, and I wanted the same with the many, many, many one. So that's why I went for like a more of a like a retro 80s design type thing than just Foxy No-Tail saying many, many, many.
I didn't get that one. I just got the onion jumper and the pickle.
Which is fair enough. And I know if you're buying it for your kids and stuff, obviously they're going to want it to be all cartoony and logo-y and stuff like that, which is fine. Like I say, I want to wear these things as well. So I design them so I will feel comfortable with them when I'm out.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Foxy, it's good stuff.
It is good stuff. It's very high quality. You should all buy it. Buy many of them. In fact, you don't need to buy many because it's so high quality they'll last you forever. But buy many anyway in case you lose them because you're all forgetful. There we go.
I bought my jumper out. I can't remember when I bought it.
Impossible. They can't be worn out. They're too high quality.
No,
you must have had moths in your cupboard.
No, I didn't buy the Mr. Onion. The Mr. Onion jumper. I remember where it came from. It was you. You gifted it to me.
Oh, I did. You that you won something, didn't you?
Yeah, me and Auntie Dizzy and somebody
it was from
else.
the Foxton realm because you did that amazing stuff at your base. I think it was.
Oh, it was the Coca-Cola truck.
Yeah, you did your big lorry. That's right.
Yeah.
You see, because I'm nice, and you were always telling me I'm not nice and I'm not generous. And look, I give you free merch. Once upon a time, before I had too many of them, I actually I bought, designed, paid for, and did all of the shipping and stuff myself for every single one of them at the time. Everyone their own mug with their own design on it. For my patrons.
I've still got mine.
Not doing that anymore. It's very expensive.
Oh.
It was fine until it got to the shipping. It was everyone lives in many places and it was very expensive.
Aw, sounds awesome though.
Yeah.
It's all right if you live in the UK. The shipping's.
Yeah, but I can't exactly say to people, "Hey, anyone that lives in the UK, have a prize for being a patron." So that's why I give you extra servers now because I feel guilty I haven't bought you all mugs.
Postcode lottery.
Yeah, I'm in the US. I would like a mug, please.
Well, you can get them from my Teespring store. You're welcome.
I am actually
and if you want
one of those
a
foxy ones.
Promo code to get a few quid off, you come see me. I'll give you a nice code. My patrons, I should actually do that. Really, give you all a better code.
Can I have a?
Yeah, be awesome.
No, you can't.
No, not you, love.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why not?
What do we?
Because you got headphones.
I'd like a code, please.
He's mean. He's
If you put the code many in, you get 10% off. But I think you guys, my Patreons in particular, they deserve a little bit more than 10% off.
Yeah.
Nelly, why are you sticking your bum on the camera? What are you doing? Please.
She's having a wonder.
What's your problem? What's the matter? Why don't you want to lay down today? You've been out. You've had everything you needed. You need a toilet. You need to go out. Bit late for that. Should have thought about that before the live stream, didn't I? I told you.
Oh,
I said you should go out. You didn't want to go out. It's your fault. You go wait now.
Oh.
I asked my dogs if they want to go out. They'd be like, yes.
She will not go out in the garden without me now. She's that bad. She'll only go out without me. So I stand at the door and I have to either stand at the door with it open and wait for her to go and do what she needs to do, or I sometimes even have to walk on the grass and call her over to it. It's so ridiculous. I need to start just chucking her out in the garden more often.
Maybe not. When we say chucking over here, it means throwing. So when you say that, I get an image of you
throw her in the
a
garden.
dog.
I do that with a cat, not a dog. Yeah. See, cats always land on their feet, so they're all right.
Still don't chuck them.
Just chuck them, it's fine.
No.
Yeah, be all right.
No.
What could possibly go wrong with the cat?
We don't do things like that.
Why?
Because
what are you doing?
Be nice.
Go
Did
lay
you come
down.
back?
Go on your bed. Good girl. Go lay down.
He gives us all this back chat. We buy lots of goodies from his shop.
Yeah.
And he still gives us back chat.
But you like it?
That's not gonna change.
What do you come here for? The cat. Chuck it.
No.
Lob it out the window. Get rid of it. Bloody vermin.
Hey.
Mate, stop. We lob him out the window.
I know.
Yeah, see how you like it.
Can it be a ground floor window?
Why do you get that?
Now you're asking too much.
Yeah.
I didn't say throw your cat out of a top floor window. Come on, I'm not cruel.
Somebody.
Throw you out of the window then.
If it's not that cruel, yeah, we'll throw you out.
Yeah, it's fine.
Jeez.
You know, eye for an eye and all that. That's the best way of dealing with things, isn't it? Revenge.
Make sure there's a great big dirty puddle on the floor first.
Oh, thanks, Lofty.
That's all right.
Appreciate it. A nice soft landing.
No, stop.
Right.
Yeah, full of
took all
dirt.
over. Nice soft landing full of dirt. Well, I like a bit of dirt. It keeps you, makes you realise. Oh no, appreciate it when you clean. That's what I meant to say.
Is she looking at you?
Who?
Nelly.
Nelly.
Oh, no, she's moved now. It
She's
looked like
on
she
the
was
bed,
just
but she's still
staring
looking
you.
at me. She's got her head stuck out of the bed like, I'm just wondering about.
Well, you can use dirt for a face pack, you know.
You can.
What?
Yeah,
can
mud. Face
Yeah.
pack.
I wouldn't just go out in the garden and use that though. Look at all of these amazing things that people keep bringing us. Look. Amazing. Anyway, I've been completely ignoring chat because of you guys talking about all of those things. What do you mean?
Change
What?
a habit of a lifestyle.
Blame us.
Ruff says, is Nelly
Blame
over
chat.
her health problems now? Yes. As far as I'm aware, she's got absolutely nothing wrong with her at the minute. We're still being careful with her diet. But yeah, that's just one thing in the list of many. But no, she's been fine, I think. Lawful Meaty says, don't sugarcoat it. Tell us how you really feel about cats, Foxy. Absolutely, I will. You need to keep them out of your house at all, just don't let them in.
I agree.
Horrible creatures. Horrible
Yeah, I was
creatures.
gonna say, I'm guessing you're not a cat person.
A cat
know.
person? No, I'm a human.
I had a black one. I like the black cat.
Oh, jeez.
I thought we were friends, Athena.
I'm sorry, Blue. I'm just trying to keep it a secret, but I really.
Wow.
See, my issue with cats is that genuinely now, not messing about, I think cats are nice and can be nice. I'm incredibly allergic to them, which doesn't help, and they know it. And every single one, when they know you're allergic to it, will do their best to crawl on your face, right? And they're not dogs, and I like dogs. I like the animal to be just really happy that it's
needy.
seen you,
They
right?
don't need
There
you
is a theory.
24/7.
The
Everything
cats,
Fox
you
said.
chuck them
Yeah,
out
they
in
are
the
very
garden, they
friendly.
come back at tea time for something to eat, they bring you things in your house you don't want, and you go to
Yep.
stroke them and they
Yep.
bite your fingers. It's,
No, not all of them.
They do.
Obviously, ones that aren't brought up very well.
we've had 3 cats, 4 actually, in my growing up years. One of them would wait for me and stealth attack me whenever I would go past the kitchen table when I was only really young. So that I obviously didn't like that one. Then we had another one after that, which was a lovely little thing. She was really nice, but she just dribbled everywhere when you stroked her. So you couldn't dribble her because you just got soaking wet.
And dogs don't do that.
No, they don't. They don't just start dripping
yeah,
out the
dogs
mouth
drool.
when you stroke a dog.
Don't tell me dogs don't drool.
No, they drool, but you can avoid that. And then
Ow.
we had another one
Have
after
you
that,
seen the
which
size of
just
some of the
wasn't
dogs?
interested
Especially
in
those ones
humans
that
at
shake
all.
their heads and it goes
Yeah, we had
everywhere.
one. We had a St Bernard growing up. It was very drooly, but it's a dog, so I didn't
No.
mind. Don't like cat
No,
drool.
I can't be
So-
doing with dog drool, dog sick.
Then we had a black one that was all right, but it wasn't interested in people. It wasn't vicious or anything or mean. It just was absolutely not interested in people at all. So you just couldn't have it on your knee. You couldn't stroke it. It just wanted to be off and out. And you just think, what's the point in paying all of this pet insurance, vets bills, and food for a cat that doesn't come in? And then after that, I've been allergic to them. So yeah, it's not been particularly great after that.
I'm the other way around. I'm now allergic to dogs.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with dogs.
Experience as Foxy, except for I also saw Pet Cemetery when I was very young, so I have a little bit of trauma added to that. A little bit afraid of
I like
cats
kittens.
as well.
I really like kittens. I like rats. I like hamsters. I like mice. I like guinea pigs, although they're even worse than cats for my allergies.
Yeah, they are.
I love horses. You know, I really like all animals, but if I'm going to choose my favourite, it's got to be a dog because a dog appreciates you always. You come downstairs in the morning and Nellie talks to me. She's so excited to see me. She's wiggling her bum so hard that she's nearly slipping about on the floor. Big bright eyes, ears back to say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I've seen you again. I didn't think I was going to see you ever again. You've been in this room all." And it's just brilliant. You don't get that from a cat. A cat just goes meow, rubs on your leg, and then scratches you because you haven't fed it quick enough.
Well, I had a cat put me in hospital when I was little.
There you go. Evil things. Evil.
No, I said I haven't had a cat put me in hospital when I was little. I had a dog put me in hospital when I was little.
Well, I'm not saying there aren't bad dogs.
No, it wasn't a bad dog. It just jumped up at me and knocked me over, and I got knocked unconscious.
Oof.
Oof.
Well, that wasn't the dog's fault then. That's you should have been more stable on your feet. It's your fault.
I was 4, I think.
Should have thought about that before.
Oh, wow.
Definitely not the dog. No, there are bad dogs, and there are, but bad dogs, it's a bit like, generally speaking, if you've got a bad dog, it's because it's got a bad owner or it's had a bad upbringing. You don't get many dogs that are just naturally horrible. There are some that are just not very good, and obviously some have mental issues as well, and I know the cats are the same. But in my experience, we've had a lot of dogs, and we've had 4 cats, and I haven't had a single cat that sat on my knee and purred without either dribbling all over me or then scratching me immediately and costing me a fortune in vet's bills. So...
Well, I'll only have the black cats. I'll only have the black ones because they're
Polymath says bad dog has a bad owner. I agree.
Well, my cats have always been snuggly. I've had them sleeping in my ear between my head and my shoulder and all sorts.
I can't believe I just got blamed for you falling over when you were little because of a dog. I got blamed for that. How was that my fault?
Ooh, hello.
That's mean. My cat talks to me more than my dog. Admittedly, it's when he wants food, says Carol. Yeah, you see, it's when they want something. They're not social creatures.
No, they're not.
But they can be.
No.
No, they can.
No.
Yeah.
Give them just as much love and attention as a dog, and then you'll get just as much love and attention back.
That only
because they
works
don't
if
always
they
want
like
it.
you.
Right.
Well, yeah, you've got to be nice to them in the first place.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
don't
my
have to
cat
be
is
nice to a dog.
adorable.
Dogs just like you. Dogs just appreciate the fact that you exist. Cats you've got to work on. And cats like being in a relationship with somebody that doesn't really want to be in a relationship with you. You know.
Oh, no.
It's like when
Having
you're
a dog
punching a
is like
puppy
having a
weight.
child, and I've already got 2 of them.
No, having a dog's
Well, my cat loves
Having
to
a
come
dog's
up
like
and
having the best
snuggles
girlfriend in the
even
world.
when he's not wanting food.
Wow, you just compared a girlfriend to a dog.
Well, no, in the attitude, you wouldn't you want a girlfriend that's just going to be dead happy to see you whenever you come home?
Oh,
like,
dead
wagging a
loyal, sitting
tail?
there waiting for
I
you to
got your
come
dinner ready
home.
and everything.
Yeah.
I've got it and I've been cleaning. I've been doing
done.
this. I hope you're happy. Perfect, great. That's what I wanted out of my life.
Are you comparing owning a dog
Yes.
to having a girlfriend?
Yes.
That's what I just said.
Are you really
Yeah.
doing that?
Yep, I just said that.
Yes.
That's the funny way. Hang on.
Can't get
That's
behind
why
you on
I've always
that.
done so well in my relationships, you see.
Exactly.
Cats you don't have to walk them, and you don't have to
This is on the ball tonight.
Those JC's clips. I can't see what it is.
Hey,
Clips and
I've got
flames
dogs versus
already.
cats, explain. Oh, I've got push-ups as well again. Thank you, JC. If you don't mind, could you keep up with your clipping, because it was all of the clips from that chaos stream that I put into today's video. It was so easy because you'd already done my job for me. I'd love to do like more just like throwing them into little shorts or stuff like that. And
As
you
long as
always
we
get
do
the
the
good
work
ones.
for you, you're happy
Exactly.
to put it. Right.
Exactly. Hey, no, look, teamwork makes the dream work. I still got to upload it and put it on the channel and edit it and stuff, but it's better than sitting through 3.5 hours of live stream and then trying to find the good bits when JC's just there watching it anyway, and very good at doing it. And I'll give her credits and stuff, and help her out and things.
Well, then you need to be nice to her.
JC, your payment this week is that you can continue to be a member on Truly Bedrock until at least next season. You're welcome.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
See how I've helped you out there?
Don't do it, JC.
Everybody, by the way, if you haven't already, go subscribe to JCB's YouTube and follow her on Twitch. I'm just saying, you've got to do that now because she's ace. There you go.
She's amazing.
Right, I'm going to do my push-ups. Leave me alone, jeez.
You do need to do 5 extra.
I'm not going there. Do you really want to go in the garden?
What do you say?
I think that was to Nelly.
You're on your own, and it's dark. You'll be sad. Bye.
Does no one sell bows on this server?
Bows.
Like a god bow?
3, 4,
Nope.
5,
No.
I don't think anyone's set it up yet, no. I was going to, but then all my villagers had a horrible accident.
Oh no.
Does he have to make so much noise about doing push-ups?
Right,
That's
I
fine,
heard that. He's saying it sounds so hard. He must
What?
really be out of shape.
Really out of shape.
You want
Put it on for the stream.
1,
2, 3.
Oh, that's really must be really
I do
hard
my
for
toilet
you.
voice.
Oh,
Oh, breathe.
according to Big Chicken.
TMI.
JC hands in a sword and walks away. Wow.
She's like, I'm out of here.
I'm not so done. Wow.
Okay, I need a
Seriously?
bow.
Seriously, JC. Seriously.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I know, I can't believe it either.
You.
I'm so done
Oh.
with you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Or a piece
Yes,
of
I've already had to
string.
use that one today.
But that
What?
seems
No.
too simple.
That seems too simple.
Well, that seems too simple.
Yeah, I would just rather make you suffer.
Clearly not.
You're so mean to me, Lofty.
Oh my.
What have I ever done to deserve it? I'm such a nice, generous, nice person that does nice, generous, nice things. And all you ever do is be mean.
That's because you're mean to Big Chicken and you're mean to Mr. Onion. And
Me.
But they deserve it because they're
And
idiots.
everyone.
yeah, but they don't.
They're complete
deserve it. They're-
morons.
Big Chicken's not a moron.
He
You leave Big
is.
Chicken
He's
alone.
totally useless.
No, he's not.
No, Big Chicken's funny.
No.
Mr.
Useless
Onion's
chicken.
funny.
Funny,
Oops. Come on.
funny looking, maybe.
And
I need
that's
a
why-
bow.
That's why they do what they do, because you're mean to them. If you were nice to them,
Mm-hmm.
You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Who's trying to catch flies anyway?
Yeah, what do I want flies for? They can go away. Which one? What can I
Big
put down to
Chicken's
make them
funny.
never come back again?
Even though he blows stuff up, he's funny.
Who's funny?
Big Chicken.
He is, and you know it.
Onion. Yeah, and Mr.
He
Onion
is. He is, isn't he? He's completely, yeah, he is. Mm-hmm.
I have 3 creepers at my base. Does anybody want them?
Yeah.
Send
Bring
them
him here,
over to
Lofty.
Foxy.
I'll have him.
Well, come and get them then, because I've got 3. They're just bobbing up and down in the
Oh, I haven't got
water,
time, I'm
waiting for
afraid.
you
When
to
you said,
move.
does anyone want any, I just assumed as part of the deal that you would be bringing them. But no, if I've got to go and fetch them, I don't want them. Change my mind.
Yeah, you got to come and get them. I'm not
That means he
sure.
has to do something, Lofty. That means he has to do something.
I know. I
And
don't
I'm
wanna
very
go
lazy. I'm going to go
home.
just check on Nelly. One moment, please. Sorry about this stream. It's incredibly unprofessional, but I've got a dog. What am I going to do? One moment.
How did I get in here? We can take over.
I
We can
wish
take
I
over
could
this.
show you, but I can't.
That you're taking on Big Chicken?
Have you finished? Coming in now.
Also, you can
Yeah,
have
when you
fun
get
with
there.
the creepers because I don't want them, and they always seem to know
I'm
where I
listening to
am.
you. You're embarrassing me in front of all those people on the internet. You're going to be in big trouble later.
Oh, don't
Aw.
worry. Leave her
And
alone.
Lucy's tomorrow. If you
The
can,
poopers.
you go to bed early. That's it, yeah? Early bedtime.
I need some better food.
There we go. Solved.
Oh,
Stop being so
leave
mean.
poor Nelly alone.
Stop being mean to Nelly.
Yes, mean. It's mean to the dog.
Mean.
It's mean Big Chicken, he's mean to Mr.
But he's the
Onion.
nicest person.
You don't sound like you believe that.
Well,
No wonder Big Chicken got his revenge back on you.
Oh, well, when? Stop being
Big
so mean to
Chicken's
me, Lofty.
Big
Well, I don't know what I've done to
Chicken's
deserve all
revenge
of this.
back. He built a tower thing, and he had to live with Bill and Bob because he was starving.
Bill and
Because he'd ate all your
Bob?
food.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I really miss those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
shame that they're never coming back again, isn't it?
Could you
Unfortunately,
just
we tried to
cut it?
renew their contract for this season,
Oh,
but they
gee.
just demanded way too much money, and I can't afford it, guys. I'm a poor Minecraft marketplace creator now. I can't afford to pay your wages anymore.
Oh, then you better bring them back then, hadn't you?
I can't. Well, they won't come back. They can't afford them, Lofty. They've decided they're too big for this channel. You know, Mr. Onion thinks he's some sort of Hollywood superstar now that he's done a couple of Disney songs, and they're just refusing everything I've tried. Tried to sweeten the deal with, giving them like perks and stuff. Not interested.
You haven't.
It's probably
tried hard enough.
He says, I don't want a
Yeah.
Dacia Sandero as a company car, thank you very much. I had one of them before and it kept breaking down. I said, well, that's, should have got a good one.
If you provided the car, then I'm not surprised it kept breaking down.
Yeah.
If Big Chicken doesn't come back, we riot.
Yeah,
Right,
we're
yeah.
gonna riot.
Hey, Mitch, look, I don't make the rules. I just follow them. If I could make
you
them
though?
come back, I would obviously do everything I could. But the only way it's going to happen is if everybody on YouTube and Twitch and Patreon just pay me loads more money. It's the only way. It's the only way I can afford them.
You can afford them. You
I can't afford them, Lofty. They're too expensive. I promise.
How can Big Chicken be too expensive?
You don't
created
know
it.
what his agent's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense how they're expensive when they're him.
What? No, they're not me. Now, why does everyone seem to think we don't look anything alike? How could it possibly be me?
Mr. Onion's the same
Thank you,
person.
Gaming
Foxy
Cheers.
created him in
100.
season
Here is
0,
loads
but then
of
Mr.
Twitch
Onion
money.
became his own person. So
Exactly. Thank you, Isu. Cheering 100 bits saying, here's loads of Twitch money. Thank you. Very much appreciated. See, somebody actually does want them back. You lot obviously clearly don't.
yes, we do. We've just purchased.
Yeah, you're all talk. You're not prepared to put your
Oh.
money where your mouth is. Isu there being like, yeah, do you know what? I want them back. Here you go, Foxy. Here's the payment they require.
I believe we put our money where our mouth is every month. Sure.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
But that's since the thing is with that though isn't I got greed. No, I mean I started paying
What?
myself more
What?
because I deserve it. So I can't afford to pay them as well. I need more wages now because I live an expensive lifestyle.
As patrons pay for what we pay anyway, so we deserve to get.
You guys are you're so selfish, all of you. JCB saying I miss Rodney.
What'd she say?
I miss Rodney. Jasno there with expert level 99 lifestyle. Exactly. Pickle cameras don't come for free. How many cameras do you know that can have pickles on them?
Oh, look at Nelly.
Saying.
Well,
Nellie's very expensive. To be honest with you, Nellie is very expensive.
Yeah.
With her vet bills. But no, they will be coming back very soon. I'm actually very much hoping to, if I can wangle it with Jack this weekend, to record some lines for the next part of my story. Not to say that Jack might be coming back, but I would really like. I haven't asked him yet. But that's my little plan. So hopefully you'll see them soon.
Face
They sound a
filter.
bit different now.
Yeah.
Aw.
Face filter.
Is it Pickle?
What face filter?
It's Pickle.
Oh look, it's from my best friend Mitz.
Yeah, Mitch redeemed Pickle.
Good job, Mix. Excuse me. I was so excited I tripped over myself.
Okay. Oh look, the button's not working, Mitz.
Uh-huh.
I tried really hard to press it. It didn't work.
You'll have to do twin then.
That one's
no.
gone.
No, anything but twin.
I know Poppy hates twin, but I love twin.
I don't think I've even got twin on there anymore. Okay, let me just gather myself together, and then I'll see if I can get my pickle out for you. No worries. 1 second.
Exactly, EC.
What's Isu say?
It's admin day. Fix your
Fix
buttons.
your buttons. Admin day. Wow. I'm in the middle of a live stream.
Precise.
Admin day.
Whoa.
I'm a happy smiley pickle.
Smiley pickle.
You're a happy smiley pickle.
Yes.
Aw.
I feel like maybe my catchphrase is getting a little bit old now. Maybe a bit boring. I have to move on to something else. Maybe we could come up with a new one together. Me and you.
How about...
No, you. Someone else.
Oh, shut up.
I don't like listening to pickles. And you're a pickle.
I don't think "oh shut up" is a good phrase.
No.
Pickle.
What about if we say, I'm a slappy, wily smickle?
No.
A slappy, whiny pickle.
Slappy, whiny pickle.
Happy
no.
whiny pickle.
You used to be paranoid pickle.
Oh,
At one point.
No, I didn't. I only do that when he's gonna hit me. No, he didn't hit me. I've never been hit before. Don't do it.
Oh,
I was smiley pickle.
every time when he says the pickle's going to eat him.
You mean he's going to hit the pickle?
Yeah.
No, don't tell
You need a
anyone.
pickle to fight back.
No, don't tell anyone. But sometimes, when you're not here, push me in the box.
Foxy, do you put pickle in a box?
No, he's going to make pickle go away.
Think I got away with
Dad,
it?
don't tell anybody. You're a tiny gherkin. I love it.
Pardon? I'm a what?
You're a tiny gherkin.
You.
Gherkin.
I can't believe. A what?
Some
No.
lucky ones. It wasn't me. It was. I was reading your chat.
A gherkin.
A pickled gherkin, if that.
You're a tiny gherkin.
That could be your new catchphrase.
I don't know if I like being gherkin. What can we say? I'm a working turkin. No, I can't say that.
Working twerk.
I'm a flirkin twerkin
No.
gherkin.
Not getting any better.
Can you twerk?
I'm a smirkin, nurkin, skagurkin, merkin,
Smirkin, working gherkin.
happy smiley pickle.
Yeah.
I don't want
Just
to be a
stick
gherkin.
smiley happy
Gherkins
pickle.
smell.
That would
They
be-
smell like pickle, but worse.
I like
But then again, we can turn him into a pickled onion. We can make him round.
I don't want to be pickled onion.
I
It's
like pickled onions.
like a cucumber, but not good.
You'll Princess Chase.
I'll just be a happy smiley pickle, please.
Okay, you be a happy smiley pickle
I
then.
like the working smirking gherkin.
A working, smirking, flirking gherkin.
Lurking.
That's me.
Yeah.
I can't flirking believe it.
Whoa there.
Easy.
Family friendly stream, pickle.
Toe in the line.
I said flirking.
Mr. Pickle.
Uh-huh.
Got a lure in it. And it gin.
The pickle is lurking. It's a lurking
A
gherkin.
lurking, smirking, working,
A lurking pickle.
gherkin, pickle.
I really need a button.
Really
band?
need a button pickle, that don't work.
You need a bun mix for pickle. If you
Maybe you
start-
want to be happy smiley pickle too?
Nope.
Press the
nope,
button,
nope,
turn into
nope.
happy smiley pickle. You could be a herkin, working, flirking, smirking, gherkin.
Got to
We
be
got a lot
happy and
of words
smiley to
going
be a
on.
happy smiley pickle.
Just like me, a happy smiley. A happy smiley pickle ever until he puts me back. I didn't put me in a box. I live in a big house with a garden and a balcony and I got lost in everything. Don't hit
Is he
me.
doing
Don't hit me.
is he doing the thing with them eyes mixed and on that onion? And then he
This is flirking amazing, says Blue. Wow. Wow. Jeez.
Anything.
To a tiny gherkin. Jeez. Oh,
Yeah,
these things
gherkin.
go so well, don't they?
Gherkin.
Don't they?
My face hurts from smiling.
Are you a happy smiley pickle as well?
Smiling.
Yeah, do you
I'm
put
not.
Smiley Happy Pickle in a box?
No, I don't keep him in a box. He's got a lovely little apartment that he lives in. He's very well looked after. He's very well catered for. I mean, there have been rumours around saying that the box doesn't have any air holes in it, but the house he lives in, there's absolutely does. He's very, 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 very well looked after. He's not
he living in a
mistreated.
box?
He doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to
Is he
do.
living in a cardboard
No, he doesn't. No. Cardboard? I'm not
He's
wasting
probably
cardboard
living
on
in
him.
a box. Well, he
That's old
drives
takeaway.
me
I mean, a big house he lives in all on his own. It's lovely. With
Mr. Onion
many
Man.
friends and lots of people that he likes to be with. He's not lonely. He doesn't have to come out and do what I ask him to do whenever I ask him to do it. He's perfectly, allowed to do his own thing. It's absolutely fine. He
I
likes
think
it.
he looks after Pickle more than what he does Mr. Onion and Big Chicken.
That's right, I do. Yeah. And Nelly. You should see Mr. Pickle's bed. It's way bigger than Nelly's.
Well,
Oh, that kind of makes me a little bit sad.
Well, that's what you get. Nelly doesn't perform properly. When she learns to perform properly, she'll get a bigger bed. Just saying, and she can start sleeping back in the house again.
We need a blames Nelly counter.
Blames Nelly counter.
She's too cute to be blamed.
Foxy takes very good care of his pickles, says JCB. Hey, you. Let's keep it clean, JC. Let's not get carried away.
dog's not done anything.
No, if you carry on like that, we're going to end up talking about Mitzi's string.
Oh, don't even go there. Thank you very much.
What? Mitzi's streamed? What?
Oh,
No, not string.
goodness
Mitzi's
sake.
string. Mitzi's got a very unfortunate bit of string, ain't you, Mitz?
I'm done. I'm so done.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I can't help it. I'm so
No,
mean.
I know. It's funny that.
You're not sorry.
No,
I sit there laughing. So not sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
not even a bit.
Totally not sorry.
I walked in the right moment, then
Yeah.
I guess.
Don't worry though, because she's getting it fixed on Monday, ain't you, Mitz? Carol says, "Wow."
So this is what I miss when I'm at work. Man,
Uh-huh.
get a new job.
I don't know anything about the string. I just
No,
heard Foxy say
you don't want to. You don't
Funnily
want to know
enough,
about
Lofty,
it often.
I don't know anything about the string, but Foxy knows all about it.
Well, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
How come I know more about it than you do?
Well, you know more about the cold than her.
The cold, that's true. That is very true. Also, welcome
Press-
to the stream, Mr.
can you-
Balrog.
Can you press the button, please?
This pleased me, redeemed by Jazno, says JCB, shouting at me. Sorry, JC, I wasn't paying attention. Too busy thinking about Mitzi's
Hey,
stream.
it's just
Jazno, anything horrible we can say to Jazno? I don't really.
I don't like this redemption. Why do you have it?
I
You didn't
don't,
ask for my
because-
opinion. But...
But give it anyway, throw it at me with a shovel. It's fine. I hate all of the things you do in your live stream. I know you weren't asking for my opinion, but
Mr. Onion display when Mr. Onion displeased people, it's more funnier than
yeah,
when
that's where it come from. It come from Mr. Onion. It was one of those things. So I don't know why people choose it. So obviously, because people like Jazno, just saying, are complete morons.
Sadists.
Don't know what they're doing with their lives. But no, I don't know.
Jasno can go jump into he can go jump into fire.
That's not very nice.
That's mean.
Yeah,
say
that's
that
a
for?
little bit. Don't displease me.
I know, no, because that's what he does when he streams. He jumps into lava. Lava will find him. Like
Does
the
he?
creepers with me, yeah. The lava
see.
finds him and he ends up in it.
Excuse me, I'm just going to sit here and hiccup for a little bit. Is that all right? Don't mind me. You
No.
crack on.
You carry on.
Why
don't
does
worry
that
about
happen
it.
sometimes? You're just sitting there and it's like all of a sudden you've got this big thing that you need to eject from your throat.
That's all that air that you keep taking in when you don't breathe for chatting. Rubbish.
Blue Cat Eye says, don't ask Jasno about any ferns. Okay, I won't. I won't ask him anyway, he's a moron.
Yeah, ferns and fire with Jasno.
Not really a moron, Jasno. I'm
it's
just
a
displeased if you
no-no.
like you asked for. Just saying. What's ferns all about? Come on, Jasno, spit it out. Is it as embarrassing as Mitzi's string? That's all I want to know.
No, it's not.
No, that's not as embarrassing as Mitzi's string. Well, that's good. That's fortunate then.
No.
Good.
Like
Are
I
you
said,
sure?
Jasno finds lava. Or the other way round.
But what's that got to do with ferns? I need to know what these ferns are all about, Lofty.
It's for something to do with the fire. With the lava and stuff. I don't know. Ask Jasno.
But I think he was.
Nothing at all. No ferns here, says Jasno.
Something
I'm
about
not sure I
dying
believe
with
this.
ferns or something.
Ferns, how
I
you
can't really remember.
Oh no, what's going on?
Something
Was it
along
fern
them
cotton?
lines.
Oh.
No.
Wow, Miss.
Um,
You're not happy, are you?
Give it away.
Because
The Tony
she's
voice, I think it was.
Oh,
because she's
funny that.
commenting about
Mitch doesn't really
string.
have a string problem. I was just making it up. Jeez. fine. Always got to ruin my fun.
Sorry for ruining your fun at my expense.
You will be.
Yeah, okay.
You can
I
always
died
come
in
to
half-hearted
my
hardcore
thing
making a
if you like.
portal. Whilst placing lava, I hit the hitbox of a fern and burned to death.
oh,
There you go.
Well, that was stupid, wasn't it?
oh.
Hey, look, he said, displease me. I'm just going to take advantage of it, okay? Just saying.
How long does this please me go on for?
Today,
Right.
a
Jeez.
while I'm in a bad mood, you know, it's fine. I was in a good mood until Mickle?
Mickle?
Mitz
Wow.
got in a bad mood.
That's
About
his
the
new
pickle.
name.
Mitz meets pickle, yeah?
Mitz is
You're
Mickle
not
Mitz.
allowed to. You're not allowed to be mean to me.
Where I'm from, a fern is how you call people. Says JCB. You call them on the fern. Nice. Fern.
Fern.
I remember-
Oh, you're from. Is she from Australia?
No.
Yeah.
But Yorkshire. Is
He's
it
from
fern?
Yorkshire. Duck.
Oh.
Bayek.
Yeah,
That's
you're
a really good phone. Has it got screen and buttons and stuff and can ring numbers? Brilliant. When I was little, here's a cute story for you all. You're going to be amazed at how cute I was when I was little.
When you was little, did your mum leave you outside the shop?
Yeah, that's where I got found by Mr.
Puppy.
Onion, and he took me home and fed me and said, "Get in my van." I'm like, "Oh, okay. My mum's in that shop." He says, "No, she's not there anymore. She's
And
left
look
you."
how you
I can see it through the window. No, that's not your mum. It's just
green
someone that looks like her, he said. I was like, "Oh, all right. Come on. How come with you then?" And that's how the story of everything started. Yeah, cute story. Okay. You ready?
Yeah. spit
Right.
On the
it
edge of
out.
my seat.
So when I was very, very little, very small, my mum was doing something with the sofas. I don't know if she was recushioning them or cleaning them or what, but she had basically the innards of the sofas on the floor. And back in those days, it was foam. And I go into the room. I say, "Mum, what's that?" And she says, "It's foam." And I said, "No, it isn't." And she said, "It is. It's foam." I said, "No, it isn't." She said, "It is. It's foam." So I put my ear on it and I said, "Hello."
Aww.
Oh dear.
Oh, little baby Foxy.
Aww. Hello.
So even when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I was still an awkward little cretin.
Yeah, it's still up.
And you've
Would it not?
got to be a bigger cretin.
Yeah.
It would have been scary though if the foam answered back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, it's me.
Then you would have been a
Happy Smiley
different
Pig. Oh
kind of-
my goodness me.
Happy Smiley Pickles back again.
Ooh, ancient debris. I'll have that.
I need an arrow.
Happy Smiley Pickles back again.
So there you go. That's the story of
You're
how
still looking
I
for
learned
an
that
arrow?
I was a complete idiot.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
I can give you an arrow, yeah.
That's it, Foxy.
Well,
What's
it's
that,
pretty
Lofty? Did you
nighttime, so I
say?
figured I'd
Sorry?
just kill this guy.
I said nothing's really changed.
No, it hasn't. I'm still a complete moron to this very day.
Well, you said it. I didn't want to.
I didn't have to because I knew exactly what you meant.
Well, now I can't.
didn't.
Blue, I need an arrow. If you're gonna sleep through the night, then give me an arrow.
I'm going to give you one.
No.
I've answered you in the chat because I thought,
Sorry.
let's not have this chat on Fox's stream.
Yeah, stop having that chat on Fox's stream. Who do you think you are? Jeez.
Hey, I said. Oh,
There you go. You can have 22.
Who do you think you
so
are?
I just.
Who do you think you are?
Oh, JC's clipped Baby's Foxy story. Thank you. There's one for Tuesday's TikTok. Thank you very much.
Tic Tac.
Has someone beat me to giving you arrows?
Yeah.
Probably.
I'll get you a blooming arrow in a minute,
It was
love. You don't
right
shut up about
next to-
arrows. I'm just saying.
There's
If you saw me sleeping, you could have done it, you know. Just say. I'm running.
Loving arrows.
keep on running.
You got
Whoa,
22 now,
we've
anyway.
just had an Exuma raid with 1,520 people.
Wow.
Jeez.
Welcome, raiders.
Hello, welcome to the Foxy No Tail live stream with my peeps today. Hello,
With the
how is
peeps.
everybody doing?
We're the peeps.
Yeah, we're the peeps.
The people you can hear are quite clearly the peeps. They are the peepity peeps that do the peepity peep things. Keep me mildly sane.
List of peepers.
You sane? That's not possible.
Mildly sane, I did say. I'm not going to push the boat out and say I'm completely sane, but mildly, I think
Absolutely
we can get away with. Hello, how are you doing? How was Exuma Street? What did he get up to? I need to hear all of the juicy details, please. Let me know. Mitts, have we got it on chat so they can chat? They don't have to wait 4 hours to be able to chat, do they?
I'm not on PC because I'm
Hang on then.
playing.
I found a button somewhere. Followers chat in 0 minutes. Yeah, so you will need to be a follower, but you don't need to be a follower for very long. And feel free to unfollow afterwards. It's just a safety prevention McJobby. Make sure. Who's doing creepers? Jeez. Who's that?
Uh-oh.
Foxy says, Foxy Noto, we were discussing whether we lived in a simulation like the Matrix. Oh, that's one of my favourite topics to discuss. What was the outcome? Was it open-ended? Did you come to conclusion? What was the majority? Did you do a poll on it? I'm interested to know, because if you don't do one, I might do one in a second, because that's a really interesting topic. Because I genuinely do believe that we are, which is kind of weird, but that's what I don't think it's
now
the
we're
Matrix.
going to get on that discussion in here. I was going to say, what makes you think that we are? I'm like, that's just going to end up.
Because it just makes sense that we are. It's arrogant to think that we're the first people that could have come up with the idea for it, considering we've now almost in a position where we could do it. So it's like being the arrogance that we're the only things that exist in the universe, or the arrogance that we are the center of the universe.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you need my news feed, Foxy. I had something come up the other day where there's a scientist predicting that dark energy could actually be the computational power of extraterrestrial civilizations.
No way. Wow. Foxy says, we got no response and we're down the rabbit hole so deep that Exuma ended the stream. Wow, really? You bullied him out of a stream with the confusing topic of whether we're in a simulation. Well, I'm going to put a poll on then. I'm going to do a new one. Are we living in a simulation?
I've thought that before.
No.
Yes.
That's all we're going to have. And I'm going to put that on for 5 minutes. Let's see how we get on with that, because that's a really interesting topic. It's very interesting.
Who did actually get the film Matrix? Because I didn't get it.
Ants in the kitchen says, who are you playing with? I don't see the dog's lips moving. Yeah, the dog's not playing. That's just there for just bringing in the viewers. That's all that's there for.
Yeah. We've got to be a simulation.
Thank you very much, Yummy Frog's Legs, for the 100 bits. Very much appreciated.
Because we're in the simulation, because that's got to be the reason why when I go in the kitchen and I can't remember what I've gone in for, it's because the person in the simulation has cancelled my action.
You're talking more about being like controlled by a computer game than in a simulation.
It's a simulation as well.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, there's different ways of thinking. Really, what type of situation are we in? That's really interesting. Are we just part of The Sims?
The simulation.
I don't know.
See, my idea in the simulation, we're programmed to have like free will and still, meet our own destinies rather than have a pre-programmed thing. I think it'll be probably something along the lines of, why would they be running simulations? And you think, well, what's the main reason they would run simulations? Probably to try and see what's going to happen in terms of where the world or the universe is going to go. Is there going to be massive world disasters or natural disasters? Is there going to be viruses and pandemics and things like that? Or is it a way to find new cures for things, or just see how the human race, or how a race, we might not necessarily be in a simulation of things controlled by humans, could be something else, to see how an alien race would cope under certain circumstances? It could be anything. It could be a school science project. It could be something in a laboratory that's really important. You don't know what the future holds. If you'd have said, 30 years ago, people will all have computers in the home that are capable of doing advanced calculations and running 3D applications, you'd have said, nah, that's not possible. And look where we are now. So what's to say that in the future someone isn't running this simulation on their phone? Or
Lofty saying it.
Plodpod says, Foxy No Tail, how are you, good sir? I'm good, thank you. We could really all be smiley pickles, says Jasno. Yeah. It's controlled by cats, says the Royal One. I want to see how that poll's doing. Where's the results of the poll? It's hiding from me.
What he's talking about.
Oh, it's very close. Yes, 47. No, 53.
Yeah.
We're all jokes, says Plodpod. Yfrost says, there's an SCP where dark matter, dark energy universe expanding. There's actually some entity group that was so scared of something in our universe that made it expand at a rate that would never be escaped. There's another SCP that expands the interior of whatever container it's in without expanding the exterior. Think TARDIS, but it's canorous. There's no real canon in SCP universe, so it could be either. Fair enough.
I don't get what that person's talking about either.
Don't worry about it, Lofty. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You don't need to. You don't need to understand that one. It's perfectly fine.
Okay. Oh, shall I go back to sleep then?
If you want.
You can go to sleep if you want.
It's fine.
Bless you. Was you asleep? You fell asleep last time. It's probably about that time of night you normally fall asleep.
Because of the medication the doctors put me on. It kept me awake all night, so I've had literally no sleep.
Oh, I can't hear you over somebody's
Sorry,
kids. Blue.
I'm gonna mute my child.
Mute my child. What was you saying, Lofty?
I was saying the medication the doctors put me on, it just kept me a darn awake for a week.
Oh, that's probably why you've been sleeping so much, is it?
Well, yeah, I'm not having them ones back again.
No, I don't blame you.
She's giving me my other ones back that I took before, which I got 4 hours sleep with.
Amazing. 4 hours sleep.
It's better than nothing. But
Yeah, that's not
still
too
not
bad,
amazing,
really.
is it?
Although these days, now that I'm all really old and stuff, if you don't get a full night's sleep, it's painful the next day.
It's really true.
I've
You're
never
like,
had it.
it's like having a hangover without having drunk anything. It's awful. I don't like it. JCB says, when you find out particles react differently depending on whether or not they're being observed, it becomes easy to believe that we're in a simulation. Exactly. Someone, I was listening to something the other day that equated that to the idea of, in computer games where the distance or the background or or in virtual reality headsets, the bit you're not focusing on will have a lower texture resolution, but as soon as you turn to that to focus on it, a different set of textures are brought in that are higher resolution, allowing the game to run faster and more better. So that was what that was equated to in this particular thing I was listening to, and I thought that was a really interesting way of considering that, because why is that the case? Why, when you look at something, just the act of looking at it, would it change unless there's a reason for it? 53% no. There's a lot of believers that we are not in a simulation out there.
In answer to your question, Foxy, I think there's a Nobel Prize in answering that one.
There's a what?
There's a Nobel Prize in answering why.
Yeah.
If you get that quantum mechanics, you get a
Yeah, I've already figured it out. Don't worry. I just don't want to share it with anyone and blow all their minds. So you can keep your Nobel Prize. I don't need it. I don't need gratification in the form of prizes. I just knowing that I know the answer and no one else does is enough for me.
There's that humility coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. Foxy good looking no tail strikes again. Don't you worry about it, guys. I got this.
Foxy humility, no tail.
Foxy humility no tail. Well, it's better than Foxy humiliated no tail. Jelana says 627 viewers. Who raised? Well, who raided? It's gone down significantly. It must be the conversation or the company we're keeping, maybe. But
thanks a lot.
Cheers.
But it can't possibly be me, is what I'm saying. We had an Exuma raid for 1,500 people. Jeez, it was crazy. So if you're still here from that, amazing. Thank you very much. Please do let us know if it's me or the company or the conversation that's scaring you off. Maybe it's just not the type of content you enjoy. Just chuck you all under the bus.
Under the bus.
Absolutely. What Foxy No Tails do best. That's why there's a thing in the chat for me for blames. That wouldn't exist if I didn't do that, would it?
I seem to be stuck in my decking.
What, at home or in game?
In the game.
Oh.
What did you do? How did you get stuck in there, Blue? Would you like me to dig you out?
This is fun.
Ants in the kitchen says the dog wasn't in focus a while ago, but now that we're focused on it, oh, I see. That's why you're staying. Is because the dog's in focus now. I get it. I see.
You know, when you follow someone with a raid, you get points for them. So could be neither of the things you suggested, good sir. It could be just that they got their points and decided to go carry on.
They did what? Get points?
Yes.
For doing what?
For raiding.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Ah, well, you know what points mean.
Prizes!
Right, exactly.
What the hell? Why am I on fire?
Was that Holmes again, by any chance?
One just subscribe.
Oh,
Many pickle filters.
No pickle filters. Absolutely not.
Yes.
Quick, turn it off. Quick, turn it off. Quick, turn it off. Quick, turn it off. Where's my thing? Where's my thing? View rewards. Channel points. Manage rewards.
I still got 3 points left.
Where is it? Quick.
I'm so scared.
Ah! What?
Blue cat.
That made me jump. There's just slime appearing around me. Wow. Rude. Keep your slime out of it. Who do you think you are?
What does blue cat eyes mean? I don't know what you mean.
Just
Stay out of stock locked, says Captain Caveman. What?
I don't know either.
I do, but I can't say.
Oh, what blue cat said?
Yeah.
Boomer has subscribed with Amazon Prime, by the way. Thank you very much for your subscription.
Language? What language? Did I?
You said the H word again.
Yeah.
What H?
The word, the one that you're not apparently allowed to say. Well, it's more of a, I think it's more like in the UK we say it all the time. I don't think it's that much of a big deal, but for our American friends, it's not a nice word.
Oh.
Got it.
Okay. Okay.
Says out of stock lofty, says Captain Caveman. Voice translation failure.
Yeah, obviously.
What pickle filters out of stock already?
Oh, unlucky. What a shame. What a shame. Do you know, I was rooting for that as well, Lofty. Absolutely.
Who's been messing with that then?
It's almost like someone turned it off.
Almost.
Almost. But not quite. Not quite like that, I don't
who
think.
that could be. Mention no names.
Answer the Kitchen says, no, I stay because your accent is intriguing and your peeps have yet to answer my query as to their composition, or I missed the answer during the existential discovery. Their composition? Where my peeps come from?
We're all in his head. It's all his voices. We're not
I'm just
real.
miming. No, the opposite of miming.
We are a simulation. Foxy.
Yeah.
We are.
I'm very good ventriloquist, but you just can't see the dummies because they're off camera.
Oh, I think are they made of marshmallow?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a
Yeah, no, I
ventriloquist.
realise I can see what word I've used. It wasn't a H word.
Oh, well, that's even worse. Right, heck is that?
No, I thought I
Can't
lost my.
believe it.
I thought I lost my shock box.
Is someone saying
No,
naughty
the
words?
C word that rhymes with trap is not for us. We don't mind that word. That's all.
No,
Yeah, no,
it's,
that's more of a UK
opposite
thing.
one.
It was the H one.
What?
Oh, crikey.
I'll let you know later, Holmes. Don't worry about it. I'll Discord you.
I'm trying to be good.
It's fine.
I think
here.
Here.
It's
Okay.
fine. I'll
Holmes,
message
you're fired. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. It's just, you need to
I
be
think
better.
it was more I was
okay?
caught by surprise, and it just.
We're always
Well, you
getting
must get
phone
caught by
calls.
surprise a lot. That's all I'm saying. Every other stream with you.
Foxy, leave her
Oh.
alone.
I'm only kidding. It's a... Oh my goodness, please stop being so sensitive.
Okay, I'm gonna eat my dinner, so I'm gonna go quiet and then.
Right. Oh,
Eat some
you're
pizza.
bringing burritos back
No,
into this again. Oh, wow,
I didn't say
see.
that.
Right.
I didn't say that. You can't blame me for something I'm not told you I'm eating.
Well, hang on a minute. I can't blame you for not doing things, but yeah, I get blamed for blaming people all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, because you do.
But I don't. Not always.
Not always.
Quite regularly, yes, but I'll
Yes.
give you that. But not always. A lot of those blames have not actually been me blaming things. It's just me sort of dancing around blaming things more likely.
No, I'm having spaghetti bolognese. All right.
Yummy.
Anyway, I sent you a message, Holmes. Don't sweat over it.
I'm not.
Sounds like you are, just saying.
Ah, okay. That's.
And I've got
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked that up as being. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
that is to some people?
Yeah.
Huh. Learn something new.
I'm assuming it's the same. Just send me that message as well, because I'm assuming it's the same one I'm talking about. Otherwise, I just sound really
Sure.
stupid.
You should put it in the
It's not
Discord because I'm
unusual.
really confused as well.
I'll message you as well. I'll message everybody.
Send it to every. Just put it in the chat. Just say it.
Yeah, no.
what is that?
Can't spell it right, apparently.
Rhymes with fell, but begins with H.
That one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, okay. That is the one I thought we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier.
I thought I
no,
might
that's-
just do like we did earlier.
There you go.
Gets a bit tasty.
Now
Hands in the
we've got a
kitchen. I'm from the
message to
States,
you.
but I grew up in a British colony.
There you go, Athena's done it as well.
Rissel Miller Cheers, 100. Just wanted to say hi.
I
I watch your
didn't
videos a lot. My best friend.
Hang on,
you've
Stream
still got
Lady's
a very
talking. I can't hear her. 1 minute.
They are amazing and our players love them.
One sec,
Hope you're
one
having a
sec.
great day.
Rissa Miller, right, has just, Rissel Miller, shared 100 bits and said, I just wanted to say hi, I watch your videos a lot. My best friend and I own a realm and we use multiple of your packs. They're amazing. Our players love them. Hope you're having a great day. Well, thank you very much. And I'm glad you like my packs. Not to, you know, self-promote myself too much, but very, very soon you might find some more things coming along in the pipeline because I've just become a Minecraft Marketplace partner. Hurrah!
Yay!
All thanks to me and no help from anyone else, particularly Mitz and, you know, all the fab team. None of those did it. It was just me. Yeah. Because I'm
I think
fabulous.
we all know
yeah.
that's not true.
What?
You can't survive
You
without
told me
Mitz.
I'm not allowed to blame anyone else, so I'm taking this one all on me, okay? Yay, party time. Thank you very much. Work this time is. Didn't work earlier when Ross
Yeah.
did it. One
Hi,
of them
Ross.
people.
Get there eventually.
Answer in the
Yeah,
kitchen
that
says,
is,
I'm not a military
amazing.
brat, though. My parents are both teachers. I didn't think you were. Well, thank you for clarifying. Now we know. I'm an American. I use the hello word all the time. Not sure why anyone says we don't use it. Not all, but it's... Well, okay. The reason I think it's probably more like that in America is because in America, there are many, many more religious folk than you tend to get generally in the UK who, you know, depending on how deep that religion is, can be quite sensitive to words like that. Whereas in the UK, it's a very, very, very few number of elderly population that still have strong ties. And I'm very much generalising here, but very, you know, to that sort of level of religious belief. So that's what it, I believe, comes down to. It's just basically being sensitive to people that do have strong religious beliefs, so that we're not upsetting anybody, basically. So yeah, for me and you and most people, it's a word that we would probably throw around because it's not that much of a big deal, but it is a big deal to some people. So we just don't say it. Okay, jeez. All right. And there's a lot of generalising on there, so.
Oh, I have no problem with it, you know.
Not you.
No. I'm saying if someone tells me not to say it, that's fine.
Exactly.
Don't know till you know.
Exactly. I didn't know. I used to say it all the time. And then someone told me. Like, if you speak to Slack a lot, there's a lot of things that, you know, he's particularly, because his family's quite religious, and they're quite sensitive to a lot of things that I never would have thought about for a second. And being friends with him for such a long time now, I sort of picked up on a lot of things. So it's good to know what's good and bad and right and wrong, I guess.
It's going to look really weird now that I've sent you a message with that word.
Just written that in there. Wow.
Yeah, if we lose the context of it and just go back to like, what?
Yeah, my dad is super religious. My child is Welsh and has a habit of saying "what the," and then that word, and he nearly swallowed his tongue in shock. Says Peru Saloon. Oof. Love the design and palette of your buildings, Foxy says. Agent Ardu. Thank you. Oh yeah, those types are the same ones that moan about people saying OMG, says Jelana. Those types. You can't say that.
No.
I
Jeez.
say that word all the time.
Yeah, we all do. Well, I say we all do. A lot of people do. See, Slack says that as well, and he's, you know, so it's. I think it's just one of those things that's. It's just slightly more depending on how religious you are or how strongly you feel about it. Be how whether or not it becomes a strong curse word or if it's just a mild one. So let's leave that conversation there before I sweat myself to death.
I'm going to say it's quite
move on to something else.
Oh, I was about to say it's a good experience for my kids because they go to a Catholic school.
Oh, do they?
We're
so
not particularly, and
I
spent 4 years working surrounded by sailors, and I currently work surrounded by builders. So
they're
going to learn all sorts of things.
Yeah.
It's learning restraint, and respect, which is nice.
Exactly.
Bye.
That's what it all comes down to. Hello.
Where's this room taking so much?
Have a good rest of your stream, Foxy.
I will do. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
See, you've upset Athena now.
No, we haven't.
Especially that Lofty has with the big mouth. Jeez, Lofty. Can't believe he did that. Shocking.
It ain't me, it's you.
Why is this slime's on me windows, slime's on my roof? Oh, my goodness me. That's that Bolrog, Mitz. You have permission to ban him.
What?
We do have loads of slimes in this area. It is quite frustrating.
No, but it's not the slimes.
No,
He's gone around sticking slime blocks to everything.
What?
Come and have a look at the front of my house.
I can't. Have you not noticed I keep getting kicked out?
Well, you should behave then, shouldn't you? Stop breaking the rules.
I'm having internet troubles.
Oh, no, not again.
Yeah.
You better get them fixed for our stream in a couple of days. Next week, whatever it is.
That's downstairs. That's fine.
Oh, your downstairs internet's different to your upstairs internet, is it?
Yeah, it works better down there.
Okay. You should get a longer cable.
Yeah, the router's probably not strong enough to reach the rooms upstairs, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Routers are rubbish, aren't they? Doesn't matter how much money you spend on them, they're still absolutely rubbish, unless you spend a lot of money on them.
It's not as
It does
bad
matter
as it's
how
bad in
much
the
money
kids'
you
room.
spend on them. I'll take it all back. I'm an idiot. Sorry, what did you say?
I was saying it's not as bad in the kids' room, but in my room, it's the worst.
Yeah. I've turned my Wi-Fi off completely now, and I just use my phone Wi-Fi if I need it, just because it's so rubbish. I couldn't even lie in bed, which is the room 2 doors down from where the router is, and use it. It's just like, no, sorry, mate, you need to be better than this. So forget it then. Forget it. Oh, look, slime here. Stop it. Get out of it with your slimes. The royal one. Oh, hang on a minute. JCB says.
So we
That's
actually
why I
came
tried
along and put
myself
that
to
on
say.
there.
Oh my goodness. Did you really? Which one is it?
Oh my
Why?
goodness.
That one. There we go. See?
Why have you got slime blocks around the house?
Did Bullrog really do this?
Bullrog is the same as vicious, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely Bullrog. Bullrog.
Bullrog.
Bullrig. Bullrog.
Goldrake, yeah.
I'm
That's the one.
1,500 blocks away. It's not me.
Yeah, you must run fast. I'm just saying.
It wasn't me because I'm.
Sorry,
I
Mr.
don't know
Blackadder.
where I am. I've gone exploring. So, and I don't know.
The Royal One says, I'm an American truck driver. If that's the worst word I can say, something's wrong with me. Take me to a doctor.
Oh, it's not the worst word you could say by far, but
No, no, it was not a particularly bad word. It's just one that we just,
it's
we
best
just
to steer away
understand
from.
that some people are sensitive about these things. So we try and,
Yeah,
you know,
like me.
not like you.
Oh,
No,
Lofty.
no one worries about what you think about Lofty. Just,
There's a slime everywhere. You just walked past another one like a moment ago.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
By the door that you went in.
I know. I'm
before you
choosing to
started digging
ignore
up
them
the
at this
hole.
particular moment in
okay.
time.
Fair enough.
I'm not
Slimy
playing on it. I'm not
slimy.
playing to it. Whatever you say. You know what I mean.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow. Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
I don't know why I put a back door on this place. There's not much to go out to. But
Have
I
we actually
have.
got sides and a back now then?
Yeah. Well, at the bottom, not the top.
Oh.
We've got some.
So
The worst.
some will get wet, some will get dry.
Yeah. Foxy's hard.
Ants in the kitchen says, I wasn't paying attention and I heard that as you turned your wife off and lied in bed. Well, it saves having a real one, doesn't it? It's much easier.
Oh my.
I've always
Okay.
wanted a wife with an off button. It's wonderful. You can't say that. I'm joking. Quite clearly, it's a joke. Jeez, guys. Jeez. You talking about being sensitive and now you're wild. Oh, shut up.
If anybody knows his girlfriend, I think they ought to tell her.
Wow. I said wife, not girlfriend. Just saying.
It's different.
Rafe says, what's Super X? Super X is a Bedrock server that I put together for my patrons. That is super because it's amazing, because it's, it's wonderful.
And we're all mad.
And it's X because it uses experimental gameplay, which basically means we've got crazy caves like this and ridiculous mountains before there's even mountains or crazy caves in Minecraft. So if we look around us, all of this custom mountain generation, I did it. It's mine. It's not Mojang's at all. They copied me, mate. Just saying. Man, 1031 cheered 1,000 bits saying, heck bent on having a heckalicious heck of a hootenanny. Wow, man. Jeez.
Yay, good one, man.
JCB says, I'm a fox and I'm digging a hole. I don't think you are, JC. I think you're lying. I'm a fox. Wow, that's beautiful, says Sea Turtle. Robot technology is advancing. Soon Foxy's dream may come true. What do you mean soon? I've already got one. That's why I said I'd turn my wife off before I go to bed. Jeez. Turn her on again in the morning. Not in the way you're thinking. Get your minds out of the gutter. Gee whiz.
We weren't thinking.
Can't take you
anything.
anyway.
I just thought it was you.
Me?
Yeah, you again.
Me? Why you? Oh, see how many times I get blamed, but I'm not allowed to blame anyone. This is totally unfair.
Because you're saying this stuff.
Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Poppycock and nonsense.
Just stuff and nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
Total nonsense.
Nope.
Yep. Just saying. Need a door on there, Mitz. Just saying.
Where?
The hole I've just made on the front of this house. We've got so many access points to this house. It's wonderful.
We only
Is
need the
Foxy a
one.
robot,
We
says
need the
Raffaele.
side sorted.
Maybe. Need the what?
What?
What did you
Some
say?
doors and windows.
I said we only need one.
Well, we're going to have lots, all right? Jeez. Because I've made holes everywhere and I'm filling them in with doors.
No. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Are we on hard?
Slime.
We on hard? Yeah, should be. Why?
Well then, if any zombies are down here.
But I turned zombie griefing off because it's really annoying, didn't I?
Oh, did you? Okay, fair enough.
I think so. I definitely did that on Truly Bedrock. Pretty sure I
You
did
better
that,
have
yeah.
then, because otherwise, bye-bye villagers. It took me ages.
No, they'll just get converted. Then get converted and then they'll be cheap again. And you like it when they're cheap. So, you know, you should be thanking me.
Say despawn.
Despawn, de-schmawn. That's what I always say. My famous catchphrase that everybody knows about. Oh, Wraith in here with good news, look. The Dacia Sandero now comes with Wife AI. So the car can... Wow, you can't... These are very sexist jokes. You're not allowed to do that. I'm not reading that one. No, we're not having that. Not very good at all. Sorry. Go back to learning how to be a nicer man school. And come back with a better joke, please.
A real thing.
Yes.
Nice man school.
Nicer man school. That's where I went to school. That's why I'm very, very, you know, I don't bring any trees with me. I'm very, very thoughtful. I didn't fail, no. I got a respectable E. You know. That's only because the teacher found my chocolate cake and I was able to bribe them with many slices of it.
I was rude to a teacher.
Did you go to How to Be a Better Man school as well, Lofty?
Pardon?
I think that some stuff like that, you know, educating people is a big requirement now because most people are being educated from TV or social media, which is not an actual form of education. Yet we're all expected to behave and act in a educated and forward-thinking way, which just doesn't happen, particularly with the older generations. So I think there should be like courses on that maybe people of a certain age should maybe just have to attend, you know.
Well, the teacher was annoying me, so she got a mouthful.
Do you have any crawling or swimming access entrances, says Anne's in the kitchen? Well, we're playing on bedrock, so we can't do crawling. And swimming's rubbish, so no.
He says swimming is rubbish and spent doing it in Truly Bedrock for ages and ages.
I didn't swim. I was building underwater, which was incredibly frustrating, but I did it because I really wanted to do that project. I didn't enjoy it. You know, you haven't caught me out there. Oh, we know you love it, really. No, I don't. It made me despise it even more. For a moment, before I started, I thought, it's probably all right now. It won't be that bad. I'm only placing blocks there. It's not like I have to swim about. Oh, it's still bad. Still awful. Working underwater in Minecraft is a big no-no for me.
That and villagers, eh?
I love villagers now. They're my favourite thing.
Villagers. Hey, where did all these skeleton horses come from?
Oh, have you found a skeleton trap?
They're on them dodgy-looking horses.
Yeah.
Dodgy looking horses. But they look a bit thin, don't they? They look like they need feeding them horses, don't they?
Yeah, I just killed them off because they had skeletons on them as well.
Yeah, you've found a skeleton horse trap.
They used to have those for girls, Foxy. Finishing in charm school was the thing, so no clues why boys didn't have gentleman's school. I'm not even joking, Jelana. I think it should be a thing, but like, just Or just to even have it in schools, just to explain that there's certain things that need to be more sensitive about. But having it as an older person, I think would be better because it's so easy to be influenced by your friends and your family and things like that when you're at school. I've had a few conversations with people recently about, them learning how differently opinionated their family and friends are that they're on Facebook with, because Facebook basically is a breeding ground for misinformation, bigotry, and all of the other horrible things that go with it. And you realise there's people that you work with or grew up with or went to school with, they're just not the sort of people you really want to associate with. So, but a lot of those people probably just don't get it. They're not, we're all here on social media. It's in our face 24/7. So we're probably more, and I hate to use this word, but more woke than other people. So I think that, if they made it a requirement to go to every 5 years go and spend a day in a class and understand what you should and shouldn't be saying to people, there'd be a lot of less people get in trouble for saying the wrong thing.
Be a good human school.
Yeah. Human finishing school.
I never liked school. It was horrid.
I liked school. Slominski says, "Hey, Foxy, would you like to have some copper blocks? I have about 7 stacks of them and no use for them." Absolutely, yes. Let me know what you want in return.
Diamonds.
I was bottling beer during Izuma's stream, so I was forced to continue listening to you guys. Luckily, I enjoyed it, says Hagman. And it didn't sound like you enjoyed it then, but you swerved slightly at the end there and redeemed yourself, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Wow.
It's one of those words that's
forced to listen.
Somebody likes our banter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what I'm going to do for you, Mitz? For this one, I'm not going to put it in as a door. I'm just going to put a little trap door there so it looks, weird. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. It looks a bit rubbish on the inside now, but on the outside, it's coming a lot. It's a lot better than it was. There's still a lot of work to do on the roof. It's still growing slime blocks on it somehow as well. I don't know. Understand that, but it's getting there around the edges.
No, it's looking good.
Yeah, the slime's not really doing it, is it?
No.
It's not helpful. It's not helping, is it? It's not quite got that vibe I was looking for.
No.
I think Mr. Belrog meant well, but it's a swing and a miss.
Oh,
it's a brave thing to do, right?
What's that?
A bit of a brave thing putting slime on your house.
Yeah, especially because he's already, like Mitz was saying earlier to me before the stream, if Mr. Balrog does it again, if he mentions Cole, that's it. I seriously, Foxy, he's out. I can't stand it anymore. I said, he won't. I'll have a word with him. I did forget to have a word with him, to be fair. But yeah, just be warned, Mr. Balrog. Just saying, okay.
He said he didn't do it.
She says that Mr. Balrog's really pulling on my string. I said, just look, leave your string out of it for a minute.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I know.
Still funny. Lofty, we need Detective Creeper Lofty back on the case.
For what? String?
Not the string.
I'll find Mrs. String, don't you worry about it.
Slime bandit.
Oh, the slime bandit. Well,
who's on the server?
Foxy won't tell us. Nash Ritter. You've just got to be. You've got to be.
Base, finally. It's not me doing it.
No,
putting yourself out there in front of people on live streams and things like that. You've got to be as aware as possible as you can, and that doesn't mean you get it right all the time, because I mean, so many times I've been told, oh yeah, that means this and this means that. I'd never even heard of these things, and oh my goodness, and at first you just want to react against it and say, well, what's the world coming to? It's awful. I didn't have to do these things when I was a kid and all this sort of stuff. But then you sort of realize, well, you're putting yourself out there, and the people from all these different places and cultures and countries that are watching you, why is it okay for you to not knowingly but unknowingly make some of those feel uncomfortable? So we do our best to be, all-encompassing for everybody, but nobody's perfect, and the world's a big place, and there's a lot of different thoughts and opinions, so you're never going to please everybody.
No.
But as long as people know that you're trying, I think that's the main thing. if people just aren't even bothering, then I think they're the sorts of people that do get called out. And I'm not going to say I agree with cancel culture, because I absolutely don't. I don't agree with that at all. But I do think a lot of people do need educating.
A lot of the problem with the sort of cancel culture stuff is there are certain characters who they now call cancel culture when actually it's just somebody else, like showing their own ability or freedom of speech, and because these people are used to making bad jokes and doing that without critique, they're now really, really upset. It's like, no, actually, if I'm saying what you're...
Nope, you've gone.
Oh, we lost you.
Speech. If you're going to say, if you're going to say something in a public arena or a public forum or something like that, like, I have a right to say or and stand up for people who perhaps don't feel like they can or whatever. And so, yeah, you get these kind of more old-fashioned who then just go, "You're cancelling me," and it's like, well, no, but
no, there's a difference between that, like being told what you can and shouldn't say, and then like people losing their jobs after saying things that were maybe they just didn't understand what they were saying
10 or 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, exactly like that. But like, you say that, but then what's his name that was in the Flash? The guy that was playing the elongated man in the Flash. He was fired because the stuff he said on Twitter years ago. But the stuff he said on Twitter, if you look at it, was like really bad. So
really bad.
Yeah, like he was actually saying, this is a bit racist, but I'm going to say it anyway because I don't care. And he was saying like really bigoty things as well, and knowingly saying it. His tweets were even sort of saying he was proud of it. So for that, yeah, I get it. But when you've got somebody that's been brought up in one particular culture that's not aware of that, and that's just how they've been brought up, all it takes is a little bit of educating them more often than not to bring them in line with everybody else's thinking. They're not doing it to upset people. They're not doing it to be bad. They just didn't know. And I think it's okay to not know. Not everybody can know,
This discussion comes up quite a lot when you're talking about H.P. Lovecraft, who did the Call of Cthulhu stories, because he was a writer in the 20s with various mental illnesses and terrified of absolutely everything. And some of his stuff is quite racist, but it comes from a place of fear as opposed to hate, is the way I kind of describe it. It's like, I was reading one of his bio things once, and it said he got married and moved to New York, married a Jewish lady, moved to New York, and apparently got a lot better. Like, just getting out in the world a bit helped him. So if he was someone born today, he could probably have learned not to be like that.
Yeah. And
then you get a certain writer who's just doubled down on their somewhat dubious opinions. For a popular children's franchise.
It's a tricky world. It's very tricky.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different thoughts and opinions on it. And they're not all right and they're not all wrong. But as long as we're all open and sharing and prepared to talk to each other and not just point fingers and say you're wrong, so therefore you're out, I think that will make everything a bit better.
Yeah, give someone a chance to learn where they've gone wrong.
Exactly.
And then if they do it again and still...
Well, if they do it again, or like, did you see the videos on trending on Twitter and TikTok today of there was a protest? I've no idea what it was about. It's a protest on the M25 motorway in the UK. And there's quite clearly this very, very large, and I just mean like tall and big, white bald guy, sort of the epitome of the white supremacist look, but I don't know whether he was or not, going and basically beating up these things right in front of the police, pushing the police about, not having anything because he wasn't happy with what they were going on. And I think it was to do with immigration or something like that.
No, the M25 stuff is they're trying to get the government to promise to insulate everybody's houses. Like, set up a green scheme to put insulation in everyone's houses.
Well,
and so you get someone like that who's really angry and anti, sort of, calls them all hippies and stuff. And then you got what was it last week, or was it even this week, where Tower Bridge flooded because of torrential downpours in London caused by climate change. It's like, one day of a few protesters on the M25 might upset you a bit, but we had people dying in subways in New York So that's what will happen more if we don't do anything. It should be a no-brainer, really. You know, jobs, getting people to come in and insulate homes and all of that is a good thing, and it's just daft. But the government aren't doing it. And it will save them in the long run as well.
The power companies that was on the news today, that they're suing the government because of the new restrictions and schemes they've put in place for about global warming. Oh.
Yeah, no, companies do that. There's a lot of trade agreements with the clauses that allow companies to sue governments for things. The governments then become.
Imagine that, 30 to 50 years ago, maybe a bit more than that, and you've got the people that are still sort of living off the end of the slave trade going, hey, I'm going to sue the government because they've told me I'm not allowed to have slaves anymore. It's so ridiculous.
I think they did. Thing. Yeah, it is the same thing, and they did.
Did they really? It's awful. I just don't understand
this. They did many things like that.
So I just don't understand it. How can they know what's going on? How can they say that? They've chosen to operate a business that's working in a dying industry. They've had so many years. They could have gone, do you know what? We should probably get out of this because of X, Y, and Z. It's not the government's fault. They've stayed in it until,
It's like the fracking stuff in the UK. Investing in fracking is a bit like if Henry Ford, instead of revolutionising the motor car factories, decided, you know what, I'm going to open a horse ranch. It's the same mentality, but there seems to be a certain top exec who's made their billions doing X, Y, Z and just really can't change. They can't do it. They don't want to. They're not interested.
But then they can't then reach out and go, I'm going to sue the government because it's their fault.
Yeah, unfortunately, they allow things like... They use lobbying and party funding and stuff like that to sort of put the power into the system, but it means it is ridiculous. It's utterly... Yeah. It's what most of the anti-trade group.
See, that sort of stuff needs to be cancelled. That needs to be stopped. But anybody that's suing somebody because of a stupid thing like that needs to be shot out of a cannon at the moon. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It comes into all the trade agreements, like secret corporate courts, which give companies the right to sue in a country in a court. But they're sort of corporate courts. It's bonkers, utterly bonkers, and probably. I'm going to bring some slime over and slime your house and make everything light again.
Yeah, cheers.
I can't remember the way, so you're safe.
Armand says, my opinion is that cancelling people has been part of culture for a long time. People have always had the power to shun and determine the success of others. Social media just amplified the microphone. I disagree with that. Ooh. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think people have had the power to do that until social media has been able to. Now there is very much a case of you are guilty until proven innocent, whereas before it was always the case as you are innocent until proven guilty. And media might have had power, but there weren't many people controlling media other than corporations and BBCs and governments. Whereas now it's every man, woman and child has that same power that like huge corporations used to be able to hold, or governments used to be able to hold, because of social media. You just need something to go viral, and that's it. You've created a movement, and potentially someone's lost their job, they've lost their loved ones and family and all the stuff because of a potential misunderstanding, because it's not been proven. It's just it's what if, let's get rid of this person just in case, and by that point the damage is already done. And I just don't think that's fair. I think everybody should be able to have a chance to explain and learn, and then, then be found to have caused these massive issues that they're talking about before everything goes wrong. Yeah, sure, suspend them, put them on hold until it's been discovered, but don't make a big deal all over the internet over it and potentially ruin their lives for something that's at that particular point in time is just hearsay. JCB says, sad thing is they can do that. Personally, I'm heavily interested in hydrogen and alternative energy companies, says Wraith. I don't know what the best thing forward is. I still feel like this particular moment in time, I don't think electricity is the right way forward, But I feel that's where all of the money has been put and all of the stuff has been put, particularly in the UK where they're saying, hey, you've all got to have electric cars by 2025, or you won't be able to buy a car that's not electric by 2025. I just don't think that's the right attitude. I think the attitude needs to be, let's pour more money into actually a feasible source of something going forward than, hey, well, let's have this sort of band-aid attitude to it that's just going to prolong the inevitable. Because that electricity's still got to be generated from somewhere. We don't have the infrastructure in place to actually power everybody's electric cars because we don't have the network, the grid network that we need in all of the areas. Once everyone's got an electric car and they all need plugging in, the power grid's just going to collapse, which means they'll have to turn the coal back on. So, it's a really short-sighted way forward, I personally believe, on that sort of stuff. Perhaps we need to transfer to a new simulation, says Settingbow. Well, see, that just leads me to the belief that it's even more like what this situation is intended for. What's the desired outcome of the world? What really blew your minds, or at least it blew mine when I thought about it, when I was thinking about simulations, is we're all considering that these things are happening in real time, but likely, as it's being a simulation running a computer, this is probably just a split second in whatever's running its time, and they could turn it off at any point. Pull the plug. Is that the Big Bang when the first electricity was turned on? Is that what happened?
Possibly. You see what they do in physics at the moment with simulating universes and stuff like that.
Yeah. And if they can do it, makes sense that that's what's happening. Vote with your £pounds, if it were. If you put money towards alternative energy, then big companies will follow suit.
Yep.
I don't know. I think that's one of those things where it needs to be pushed by the government. The government's too scared of upsetting the corporations and the companies because they're going to lose out. And I think the businesses aren't going to do it because it's not profitable. I think that's one of those things where the government just needs to stand up and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing now, and you need to fall in line and do it. And if that means pouring a lot of public money, which doesn't exist anymore because we've already all spent it, into this sort of research, then so be it. But there should be incentives for it, and I don't think there is. Maybe there is, maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't feel like there's any government incentives for companies to be working on alternative power solutions.
Yeah, we do in the factory. So we build houses in the factory, and
there is various funds and pots of money out there. They're putting a load into power companies, but we can't bid on any of it at the moment
because we're not a power company. But the building industry stuff sort of calmed off a bit because they overspent in some areas.
Yeah, that's more housing though, isn't it? As opposed to sort of a global solution for producing power. So that's helpful. Obviously, building houses that are more what's it called? Eco-friendly, I guess.
Eco-friendly, yeah. We're aiming passive house, so they'll actually generate and make a profit. So, and again, some of the things we're talking about is just changing the mindset of like council houses where they're so eco-friendly, their electrical and gas bill is really, really small. And then if you put solar panels on, every single one of them puts back to grid during the day.
Oh, brilliant.
So you can then feed that into businesses and stuff like that. And so instead of, that initial outlay for a council or a housing association to set up, well, firstly, for the people who go to work in those houses, it generates income for the council and sort of pays for the people who can't work, helps pay for the people who can't work. Things like if the government paid for everyone over a certain age to have fully insulated homes, we wouldn't need the winter fuel allowance. Like, it all pays for itself. That's a crazy thing that they don't seem to get from the particular mindset they seem to have. The old "how do we pay for it" question should always be replied by journalists and stuff of how do you not pay for, or how do you pay for not taking action?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's that's what I was getting to with short-sighted attitudes.
Yeah.
It just shows the difference between a business and a government, because a business wouldn't consider, well, this is the cash flow now, so let's not do something for the future. You always look to your projections, what's going on in the future, how, if we don't do this, it's going to cost us this money over time. The government doesn't do that. The government goes, what's it costing us now? Oh, well, we're not going to be in power on this when that's, we're in the red now, so it's not our problem. And So I think that's probably not just a problem with the people in the government's attitudes towards, well, that'll be the next government that comes along's problem, but also the way that governments are picked and chosen is that it's nothing ever is set in stone long enough, is it, for these changes to take effect on the long term? So you always feel like you're fighting a battle.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they win their seats in the government by popular opinion.
Yeah.
And if they're doing things that are not popular opinion, like making big changes, because change is always generally badly received. Yeah, so I think that's what it just comes down to. That's not going to make us popular, so let's not do it. Or let's delay it and leave it to the next person's job unless there's absolutely no way we can get away with it. What we really need is somebody brave enough to go in and go, hey, look, this is what we're doing, this is how we're going to save the country, save the world. And then it might be not popular when they do it, but it'll be popular when it's done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
That's my little thoughts on it all anyway.
Your little thoughts. That was quite a long thought.
Well, it's a big topic.
Yeah. Not one you can solve in an evening, though.
No. Well, I could solve it all in a day if they put me in charge, to be honest with you. Not difficult.
I think we'll do it.
I don't care whether people like me or not. Fine. I'll ruffle a few feathers. Put me in charge. Don't you worry about it. We'll all have sticky boots and nether rats in no time.
Foxy
Sticky boots and
president.
Royal One says, it's just a matter of time before the cats that are running the simulation hits the reset and says, well, that didn't work. Let's try dinosaurs again. Jelana says, solar power stations and solar panels for electricity has become very popular here in the US because electrical grid infrastructure is in complete disarray. It's the same as the UK's. There's a lot of, I think we're generating most days now enough power from wind for the whole country, I believe. I think there were a couple of days this summer where there wasn't enough wind and we had to rely on other sources. But that's great. But that's not taking into account maybe it is, how quickly or more and more reliant we are on electricity. Let's just go back to clockwork. Clockwork
Steam.
Cars, it's the future.
Clockwork and steam.
Clockwork and steam. No, because steam needs coal. Well, it doesn't need coal, but it needs a fuel. Which is generally speaking something that you've got to burn.
Magic. No. I was at a steampunk weekend this weekend, just gone. So.
Oh, I like steampunk.
I couldn't find my pith helm. I don't know where it's gone. It's in one of the two. It's either here or at the house my parents are retiring back to.
Wraith says there are many issues that need addressing. Power generation, car industry, also industrial farming. Yeah, there's loads.
That's the thing. It's so big. That's why the government has to be involved to sort of drive it. You watch something like when Greta did her trek and went by train and then got huge. Went by boats and stuff, and then everyone just targeted her and. Well, not everyone, but the certain types targeted her and went, well, your boat pilot had to come across by plane. It's like she put so much effort in to try not to use any form of planes and stuff to get anywhere, yet couldn't do it. Like, the world around us. Yeah, it's not her fault. That's the thing. Like, what it shows is how difficult it is to do it. My wife did a lot of plastic-free stuff before she got ill. She's getting much better. But
good.
It's so hard to do, and it's like it shouldn't be. That's why you need the government to step in and say, "Hey, we're going to put a tax on all plastic packaging. We're going to do it."
Just put not a tax, the opposite. Put get incentives for it. I mean, I worked in the packaging industry for a long time, and they're only just now moving over to recyclable and biodegradable packaging on most of your flexible packaging, and it's not good because they can't. It's so expensive, and it doesn't have the same qualities of non-recyclable stuff in terms of keeping your food fresh for longer. So you've got the people at the supermarket moaning because the sell-by date's too short. You've got the people in the factories moaning because, again, the supermarkets are demanding cheaper and cheaper prices. It's impossible now to produce food for the supermarkets and make money even if you're a huge factory. And then with anybody, the government or the public asking you, say, hey, you know, this packaging is not recyclable. Where's the give come from? How do you do it? You can't pull money out of nowhere. So there needs to be some subsidies somewhere along the line if that's going to continue the way it is, or people, which is never going to happen because you can't rely on people, you know, need to accept this going to be more expensive at the shops if we want to live in a world that's going to exist for the next 100 years as opposed to the next 30 years. So it's an impossible task to ask people to do those things without the government just point blank standing in and saying we're going to do this because we know it's impossible.
The government has to step in to be able to do it, because as an individual it's so hard to do it.
It's impossible. It's not just hard, it literally is impossible. You can't afford to do it. There are not many factories and companies out there that can still afford to do things like that. You know, I've known companies that would supply fresh, frozen, cooked and all sorts, like fish, to all over the world, factories, supermarkets all over the world that went out of business because they were just getting crunched on price so much they couldn't keep up with it, which meant they cut corners, which meant that they get audited by these supermarkets. Supermarkets want the absolute best quality from the factory. Factory slips up, they go, oh, sorry, you didn't quite meet your audit, so we've gone to your competitor, and that's it. They're all out of business, and then they're left owing, like debting all of these other companies by millions of pounds because they get into a situation where their cash flow is so bad they can't pay for like 120 days. They buy something, but they can't pay for 120 days, which means there's a massive knock-on effect to all of the people that were working for them, contractors and companies and machinery companies that are supplying stuff and a lot of those are smaller businesses that go out of business. So it's a massive problem with supermarkets at the minute.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Looking just in the construction side and the factory side in the construction industry and material, the chief operating officer was saying, because he comes from manufacturing world, he sort of we were grumbling about various things, architects and quantity surveyors, because he's saying, you know, the job of the quantity surveyors is to get everything as cheap as possible, and you're like, yeah, but if your supply chain can't afford to supply, where do you go? You've got nothing. You need the goods to supply. Without that, you've got nothing. So it has to be a kind of partnership where everyone actually is successful and everyone can make their living. And if you don't do that, you just soon find you run out of suppliers.
Yeah, it's really tricky. We got a few things in the chat. Hang on a second. Foxy, you becoming a marketplace member, does that mean your resource packs will be available on the marketplace? I don't actually have any resource packs. I suppose I got my markers resource pack. I never thought about that. To put an actual resource pack, as in a texture pack, on the marketplace, it has to change a significant amount of textures in the game by a significant amount in order for it to pass. So I wouldn't be able to put my markers texture pack on there. As for add-ons, I can put them on as part of a survival spawn, which would have to have some work done on it. But you would then be limited to that world and that seed that the world was made on, which means that you can only ever use them on one world. You'd be able to use them on multiple copies of that world, but you're always going to be stuck on the same seed, which is not ideal for people. Now, I was in a meeting for the onboarding process with the Minecraft people yesterday, and they did mention, I asked the question, are they going to be bringing add-ons to the marketplace? And it is on the roadmap. They understand why that would be a good thing to do, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So I will hopefully be putting things like my mob heads and mini box on as part of like a fun survival spawn pack type thing, but you won't see a list of all of my add-ons and resource packs on there individually, sadly, for now. But at some point in the future, hopefully they will be. And then we got I read something. Oh yeah, I've always wondered why flour comes in paper bags but pasta comes in plastic bags. Okay, Pasta, if it gets damp, will go soggy. It will take on water, and then it will go mouldy because of bacteria. Flour can get damp, but generally it keeps itself quite dry. And traditionally, it came in paper bags. If you try and take a traditional product like flour and put it in modern packaging, people won't buy it. It's a really weird psychological thing. So it doesn't need to be in plastic, so it doesn't go in plastic. But it is actually more expensive for them to produce it in paper bags than plastic, believe it or not. But it's just one of those weird things because it's traditionally bought in paper bags. That's how it stays. But yeah, pasta needs to be in plastic in order to make sure there's no water. And going back a few years, things you used to put in your freezer, you might notice that packaging it didn't look as nice. It wasn't as shiny. The print on it wasn't quite a good quality, and they tend to be quite stretchy. Whereas stuff you'd put in the fridge or in your cupboard, like crisps, would be more crisp, the packaging. And it would be more sort of stronger, harder, and have a better looking print on it. And that was the difference between something called polythene. The stuff you used to put in your freezer was a polythene, which was just one layer of polythene that your stuff was wrapped in. And the packages for your crisps and things were a laminate. There were a lamination of different materials in order to have barriers to stop air getting in and stop water getting in and things like that. So the more protective barriers they've got, which yes does make it more expensive, but the longer your food will last in that packaging, which for stuff in your freezer doesn't really matter, because your freezer, the whole point of it being in the freezer is that it stays nice and cool, and it doesn't rely on that. There you go, boring facts for you. But they moved away from polythene quite a lot now to laminates, even for freezer stuff, just because it's got cheaper. But the biggest problem I've just had Mr. X Insanity is subscribed. Thank you very much for your subscription. Yeah, the biggest problem with packaging, again, comes down to people at the supermarkets, is the shape of the packaging is completely pointless. You know, Cadbury sweets, things like that, you get the nice bags that stand up on the shelf. They don't just hang on a hook anymore like they used to in the olden days. You know what I mean? Have you seen them before?
You mean all the things product designers do? Yeah,
like the little zips on the top to keep, you can zip them back up again and all that sort of stuff. But the shape of the bag in particular, the ones that stand up, they've got like a little gusset at the bottom of the bag. They are impossible to produce on a machine that every other type of packaging can be made on. So let's say, for instance, I could sell a machine to a factory to make crisp packet types bags or chip packets, which is called a pillow bag. It's got a seal at the top and a seal at the bottom. Once you open it, it's stuck open. Those are easy. You can buy a machine for those for like £6,000. It'll run 30, 40 packs per minute all day long, no problems whatsoever, and the packaging's really cheap. You want to put like one of those nice stand-up bags that sit on the shelf and look nice, you're either having to go to an external company that has to have a football stadium-sized plant in it for machinery that costs millions of pounds to make them, or you you buy your own cheap and cheerful machine and do half a job on it and get maybe 1 or 2 bags per minute out of it, which all adds to cost. So crazy, just because people prefer the ones that stand up on the shelf, and that's where everyone's going to now. These little bags that stand up on the shelf rather than hook on the wall, as it is more desirable. So that's what people want, and it's costing like literally 100 times more to produce that packaging than it does the original stuff. And then people are moaning that the food's too expensive in the supermarket. So, stop being so picky with your packaging. Just saying. I'll stop boring you all with that now, by the way.
You don't need a bag that stands up on its own. Not for crisps. They don't last long enough.
Or chocolate, or anything, or wash powder, or you don't need a bag that stands up. It's a bag. Just put it in your cupboard. Who cares?
Wash powder, cardboard box.
Exactly. It's so stupid. And these little bags with spouts in, the little bags with spouts in, so it's easy to pour out. They're a nightmare, absolute nightmare to produce those.
Oh, goodness.
Just get your scissors, cut the corner off. It's fine.
We had a big design thing when I was at uni doing mechanical engineering, and the product designers were in there. And we had this visiting product designer giving a presentation. It was the person who redesigned KitKat. And when they got rid of the foil on KitKat for a brief while.
Oh, yeah.
And they're showing it off, and I'm sitting there like biting my tongue going, do not put a hand up and ask if that's when KitKat went from #1 selling biscuit. It was. KitKat went into a plastic one.
Yeah. Saved a lot of money doing that, though.
Yeah.
And they made them smaller. Just saying.
Oh, they always do that. Can't remember what I noticed recently, but it's got smaller.
Mars bars, tiny compared to how big they used to be.
Yeah.
Learning with Foxy, it's always people's fault, says the Baron One. It is absolutely always people's fault. Supermarket uses a ridiculous amount of plastic, says Just Shanky. Yeah, and it's not mostly not recyclable, and it's because generally it's the cheapest way that they can get it to the shelf. So again, your fault because you want it all cheap. It's all right having all this money, right? We got this pandemic, which granted was a nightmare for everybody, but most people got free money because of it, and most people put it into crypto rather than going. Do you know what? I could probably afford to spend a little bit more at the supermarket. So.
Oh, don't start on crypto. It was a really good idea at the beginning. It was an interesting way of disrupting banks and all of that. It's just turned into this sort of.
I still think it's going to be a big thing. It's going to be a lot bigger in the future. I don't see how it can't be now. It's made too much noise. I don't know which one or how or when or why, but
there's like 1 million of them.
I know.
I don't know. It's crazy. The fact that they did a joke on Dogecoin and it suddenly became worth loads. Although, who was it who did his joke?
It didn't. It only became worth loads if you had loads of it to start with. That's the thing with those things. You could pick. Let's say you got a millionaire friend, right? You've got a friend that's got £1 million, and you find one of these new emerging coins that's just come out, and it's like 0.0.0 pence to buy this coin, and you put in £1,000, and you get 10 million of these coins, right? And all it takes is for one person with a lot of money to buy an absolute ton of those to really increase the price on it, and then. All of a sudden, because you've got so many of them, it's worth more. But they don't actually go up that much in value. And then you're rich. But then your person that's your friend that you've told to put £1 million into that has now got to sell them all again. And they're not going to do quite so well because everyone's already sold them at that point because they're impressed with how much it's gone up. So it's relative is basically what I'm saying. And it's very easy to manipulate if you've got millionaire friends. Which is what happens quite a lot by the sounds of things. I've been watching a lot of stuff to do with that, and it just seemed like there's a lot of, hey, let's get these big companies to buy a lot of this one so that we can push the price up and take our money. So there's no wonder there's not a lot of faith in it.
You need to do some Foxy NFTs.
Foxy NFTs. That's one thing I don't understand. I really don't understand that.
So kids did some like little cat things and made like 120 grand off them or something.
Rain says, I made good money off Dodge.
What's the other one? The best one?
Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano.
Oh, it's...
Shiba Inu.
It was a spoof one, but didn't actually exist. But was it the Spiffing Brit? Did he do it one?
Oh, I was watching him yesterday, where he bought one of every single coin. I was waiting for his update one. He said 3 months ago, he was going to do an update the next month, and he didn't do it. I've been sat there flicking through his videos looking for it. Meanie.
He's funny.
I knew you watched him. when you found the Facebook break and suddenly all the YouTube follow it. People start doing the little tricks and stuff.
He's on a break though now, isn't he?
I only bumped into him a few times. I wasn't subscribed to him until yesterday, but I've seen quite a lot of his stuff because it gets recommended quite a lot. I don't know why I never bother subscribing. I guess because most of his content's probably not stuff I would watch. But occasionally there's some real gems come out.
My brother watches him. He did a world on Minecraft, which was he was creative. He was like the lord of the world.
Really?
Mana, and he had 100 people, and they were all in hardcore. and he was the king of the realm and stuff.
Oh,
I didn't see
really?
all of it, but he did this series. And
Yeah.
you were only allowed to do certain things if you were a certain rank and stuff. It was like properly feudal,
Really?
but just ridiculous. It was, and there was a rebellion and all this. Yeah,
It was a lot of fun, but it didn't
it
last
was a
very long.
lot. No, I don't think it did.
It was too much to keep running like the server and everything and getting it all organised.
He set up an execution square, or he ordered an execution square set up by his mods, and they were doing it between sessions in creative and accidentally used silverfish infested plots.
Oh no!
So they all came to all the people came to the execution, and like 1,000 silverfish started to spawn, and no one knew what was going on or how it happened. I can't remember if that turned out to be a mod, but was running the rebellion though.
That does sound funny.
Yeah.
I'd like to have seen that. I'll have to maybe go back and flick through a few of his ones now.
Yeah.
I seem to bounce around
Definitely worth
like
it.
new YouTubers. I've latched onto somebody, watch a few videos, and then I sort of move on to somebody else. And I don't know. I don't seem to be able to settle on anyone at the minute. I always used to have like 5 people that I would watch every single episode of and watch religiously, and now I just don't know. I just feel like it's a different. I just consume it so differently. It's very strange.
I watch
Yes.
yours religiously.
Well, of course you should do. That's how you win so many free prizes, because you know when all the competitions are, right?
Okay,
miss
so
out on
what free prizes have I won then? Because so far I haven't seen any.
But you've had some Displease Me's for free, haven't you?
Yeah, free Displease Me's. Loads of those.
Yeah.
I've given away quite a lot of Minecraft Marketplace vouchers before.
I haven't fairy joined.
I haven't done that before.
I don't know where.
In fact, I've still got. I think I've still got a bunch of those left to give out. Actually, get rid of them. I can't. Danny Z Wall says cryptocurrency is kind of like stock market, but for better or worse, it's completely unregulated. I think it will end up regulated to a certain extent. I hope in a good way, because I know a lot of the people that are really into crypto don't want it to be, because there's like, well, that's the whole point of it. It's unregulated, but I think it would benefit from being regulated to a certain extent, because it would then have. There'd basically be more faith in it, wouldn't there, from people? And if there's more faith in it, more people are more likely to adopt it.
Yeah.
Having said that, a lot of banks and things already are adopting it all. So, you know, it's, I don't know. But yeah, I think you don't want one that's like completely run by a government or something like that. I don't think that would be very good. But having a regulated, just having regulations about them, I think will be a positive in the long run rather than negative. Ray says, coming soon, Foxy Bugs. Invest today before it's too late. Yo, just send money to Foxy. Yeah, just save yourself the job. Don't buy Foxy coins, right? Just send me money. Just I've got Patreon. You can subscribe on Twitch. You can join my YouTube as a member. You can donate through PayPal. Just send me all your money and I'll invest it for you in my bank account. And I promise I won't spend any of it. And you can have it back whenever you want. But there is a 365,000 day waiting period to have it released from the account back to you. Just, you know, just a small caveat.
You had enough of my money on your Chaos weekend. I was going to say, I did like it when something happened and you're like, that seems like a Holmes thing. And I was like, he's spot on. That was me. I think I dumped your inventory and you knew exactly that was me.
Yeah, there was a few times when I knew who it was doing certain things. There was you, Blue Cat, that was doing pretty much everything else, and JCB was throwing a few corkers in as well. Oh, and who else was it? There was someone else. Ranger's Edge was doing some things. Watchful. He joined in at the end doing some bad things.
Yeah, Watchful. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're all bad. Tesla was the least. At least for a time, accepting Bitcoin for their cars as paying Dragon. Yeah. It'll happen more and more. What was it? What country? El Salvador just started accepting Bitcoin as legal tender the other day, although they're now protesting against it now, so that's all good fun.
PayPal has just started, or PayPal say
getting into it, yeah.
Bitcoin coming soon, I think.
Which is interesting because most of the other banks, particularly in the UK, have all turned around and gone, hey, we're not letting you buy cryptocurrency with your account now because of fraud. There's nothing to do with that. It's just because they're fearing what's going to happen. Thank you for flying a lot on the care stream. I really like dropping you onto the ground, says Pain Dragon. Thank you very much for dropping me onto the ground. Yes, how could I forget? Right, peeps. Unfortunately, we are at that time where I like to go off and have an hour before I go to bed doing very little. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the roll credits button. I'm going to go on the big screen so you can see my big, beautiful face, all large and things like that, because I'm very beautiful. And what was Chaos Stream, says Mr. X Insanity. Check it out on the VOD. I put a montage video of it up today. It was really, really good fun.
Yes.
Good night, all, says JCB.
Good night, everybody.
If you see your name going up on the screen, I'm just going to say then an extra big thank you to you for your help and support in this live stream. And if you don't, then a big thank you anyway for being here and watching and checking it out. And if you follow today, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. We've got 657. Last stream, we only had 5,000 and something. So that's a big old bunch of new followers. So thank you very, very much.
You've got another clip.
I'm very beautiful from JCP. I can't wait to put that. That'll be Wednesday's TikTok then. Excellent. Right, who are we going to raid? Who have we got? Who are we passing the Exuma raid onto? We've got Music Man, Drath, or Bruno. Do you know I haven't raided Music Man much? Or Drath? Let's go to Music Man.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.